These two families say they have been casual friends since the mid-'80s. The two husbands worked together at the Galesburg Police Department for 17 years. But now,
we're kidney buddies, is what we are.
There you go.
Janet says she has always taken having two kidneys for granted until she learned Gary needed one.
Janet asked me a lot of questions.
Everything he said, I was ticking off in my mind. Well, I can do that. Well, I'm not afraid of that.
I had none at all. I was just figured she was curious like others have been.
And honestly, I can't explain it. You know, I really don't know how to explain it except that I responded wholeheartedly and felt, above all, I just thought, gosh, if all you need is a kidney, I mean, y'all just need a kidney.
Very proud of her. Gary's children and grandchildren now, you'll be able to spend more time with them.
Janet says this was her way of thanking a community that was there for her and her family in a time of need.
2 years ago, my husband was terribly injured in an incident with his bicycle, and we really were in a bad situation. And the Galesburg community came forth and helped us. My husband and I made a pact, and we said, we really need to pay back. I don't know how we could ever give back enough to say thank you. And that's what, to me, this was. It was a way of paying it forward.
Gary says before receiving a kidney, he felt tired all of the time, and that after being diagnosed with kidney failure, he began undergoing dialysis and was put on the donor list. And right after being added to the list, they received a call of a potential deceased donor.
And they called back later and said it wasn't going to work. So, you know, it was a letdown then.
Many patients on the donor list have to wait for a patient to pass away to receive a kidney, and the average wait time is about 5 years. Janet says she had registered as an organ donor with her driver's license years ago.
But it had never occurred to me to offer someone my kidney. Never until that day that he mentioned he was on a transplant list.
And when Karen and Gary received the call that Janet wanted to see if she could help,
it was a very exciting time. You just stay guarded though, because you know you don't want to be let down too many times.
and when they learned Janet was in fact a viable living donor and was a match for Gary,
it was unbelievable. I think Gary and I both cried and was very happy.
Gary says it has impacted the way he sees the world.
A lot of good people out there, even though you don't, a lot of times you don't see it.
Janet says that throughout the organ donation process, staff made her feel very comfortable and gave her the option at any time if she didn't want to do it, including the day of the surgery. The only reason Gary was aware that Janet was his donor was because she contacted him. Janet says she was in pain for about a week, and then after that she was fine in just a few weeks. And that if she ever were to need a kidney, she would actually be at priority because she had been a donor. Sharon, David?
What an amazing
story.
Great story, Sarah. Now, to learn more about becoming a living kidney donor, you can visit the KWQC website or app for more information.